You don't have that silly music going, do you?
No silly music, because we are right on time. 8:05 on the dot.
Ooh.
Put that in books. That just happened. We're live on time.
That's
is this the real
nice.
News? I don't know if that's the real News New England, because maybe he's drunk or something. I don't know. News New England.
None idea.
Either the real or the fake News New England. I do see that you had requested a wrench. We have forwarded that request to our request department, and we will get back to you in 3 to 5 business days. You know who has some time? News Now Omaha. I jumped onto a stream last night and I said something like, do you have comment about being excommunicated from the auditing community by Josh Abrams? And I was timed out immediately for nothing. Tyrant mods.
Wow.
There was one mod that was deleting literally everything, and Floyd eventually got rid of them.
Yeah.
Say no First Amendment on First Amendment auditors channels, I guess.
Well,
yeah, right?
They don't believe in
it. The First Amendment doesn't cover, things like YouTube comments, right? Because, YouTube is not the government. I'm not the government. News Now Omaha isn't the government. But, you should have good reason to block people. Otherwise, it's just tyranny. There's tyranny over there.
Mm-hmm. And they call cops tyrants and everything. Kind of ironic.
Right. Literally, all these auditor streams, all I have to do is say hello, and they're like, timeout block. Really? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I only got a couple people blocked on mine. And that's just because I really don't like them.
We got people blocked on ours. It's not people block. I think once the worst of the controversy and all that, toxicity kind of wore down, now we don't really block at all. But I'm not saying you can't block people. It's not really up to me one way or the other.
I got the pedos blocked. And
I was going to say, Sasquatch, I'm sorry for what I said. I wish you would unblock me.
You've never been blocked, ever.
So yeah, let's get into it. So I don't know if you guys heard, but I am hiding from the FBI right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So this
Katie's on the lam.
Guys, I'm on the lam. I want to make that clear that I am in a very serious spot right now. This is a very serious situation. I have been to the FBI, and I'm probably going to get raided any day now. So I'll play it out of Furry's own mouth so that you can all hear this very dire situation that I'm in right now. I just screwed up because she is much smarter than me.
To Kate, Catherine Peter of the Nassau Report. I reported just so you know, I reported your blackmail, not only to YouTube, both victims of your blackmail, by the way. Not only went ahead and alerted YouTube and reported you to YouTube for that, but also to the cyber crimes division at the FBI, because what you did was a crime. There's a hate crime enhancement for the vitriol that you spewed and your co-spewed. And there's like I said, sorry, I'm not reading the chat. And your blackmail. So yeah, we're gonna see. And like I said, I don't know, maybe there's nothing that'll come of it. Hold on, everyone.
Hold on. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that their stream is buffering. Are we having issues over here?
It's good for me.
I say the stream seems fine to me. I got it pulled up on YouTube and everything. So.
Oh, I'm sorry for the people that are having buffering issues. You may want to maybe refresh it. Sorry about that.
It's the FBI wiretapping.
I think it is.
Yeah, they're zeroing in on your position.
Yeah.
I think right now just speaking about it summons them like Beetlejuice.
Ding, ding, ding.
Soon they're gonna be breaking down your door.
Make sure you got the chemical.
Yeah.
Well, I gave you contact information for my Mossad friends to get you into a safe house. You haven't taken advantage of that yet?
I mean, I did for a while. I was at the safe house, and then I was afraid they were going to find me because it's Furry Potato on the case, and she is the tactical genius. So I then just kind of hid under my bed, but it was uncomfortable, and I'm fat. So then I just kind of took to, when you hide under the covers in the safe cocoon. I've been doing that for like 3 days straight.
Well,
That works.
You can come over my house, Kate.
Thank you. No, Ed has my back here. He just donated $5 to get me safely to a country with a non-extradition treaty. I appreciate
That's
that.
nice.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Thank you, Ed.
Yep. Is that $5 whole?
$5 whole.
Wow.
It's gonna get
Yeah,
it far.
yeah. It is.
Ed's the
It is.
best.
I need. Yeah. So like, I just want to make this clear right now, though. Okay. So we have all the tater tots that come on and like hate bomb our videos in the comments. And number one, thank you. I love it. I actually sustain myself off your hate so that we're clear. But number two, they keep calling us Karens, right? Have you noticed that, guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of a no more Karen scenario than being the person who calls up the FBI cybercrimes division and demands blackmail charges with a hate crime enhancement because somebody made a YouTube video that you didn't like.
Yeah.
With a hate crime that did not occur.
Right.
Yeah. The
Or the
FBI is
blackmail.
probably just gonna laugh at him or her. Sorry.
They're saying that there's something wrong with the stream still.
Thank you, Finn.
I'm not seeing any
thanks.
problems.
Me either.
Yes, I.
Yeah, I'm not
You
seeing
know that-
like I've got YouTube up also, and I'm looking at that, and I'm not seeing any issues there.
Yeah, I'm not having issues.
Sancho's messaged me that it's something's wrong.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. No,
You gotta be on
people are
their
saying-
end.
Yeah.
Say, I mean, I was trying to watch somebody stream earlier today, and I was having some buffering issues. So I don't know if YouTube as a whole has been having problems all day or something or what.
I have it open and seems pretty smooth
But
to me.
yeah, the
Yeah,
stream
same.
seems fine for me right now.
That's blasphemy. YouTube have a problem?
Yeah.
Well, I was checking out live
Sorry.
channels and everything, and the whole thing was buffering.
Someone's saying they're on mobile and no buffering. Somebody restarted their phone and it's still doing it. So it's a thing dead stream. Odd.
Those guys
Yeah.
aren't holding their mouth right.
Yeah, all your Apple devices that are buffering, you need to reset those. Find the closest toilet, and you put it in the water, and you flush twice.
Oh, hey, come on now. I've got an iPhone. I love my iPhone.
I'm on a iMac.
Love it.
Right.
Yeah, see, I'm on my computer watching it right now with no issues.
I was say, yeah, I'm not having a problem either. I'm doing the same thing.
I don't know. Guys, bear with us. Again, the FBI is in hot pursuit of me. And so therefore we might have some technical difficulties with some people as they attempt to triangulate my position.
Maybe the
Technical
FBI 's
difficulties,
hacking.
no-knock raids.
Yeah. So one of those two things is going to happen. So anyway, the reason that Furry is accusing me of blackmailing is I had said pretty much, listen, I know who Mrs. Potato, your girlfriend, is. And we can certainly talk about that if you don't cut your shit with the animal hospital. Now, I'm not talking like I am not going to dox somebody's address, place of employment, phone number, anything like that. Like that's just fucked up to do. That's when you start to cross a line. Like I'm not going to do that. But I do want to talk about Mrs. Potato. Number one, because this bitch keeps auditing places like animal hospitals. And number two, I find it fascinating that Mrs. Potato sits complicit in this behavior, because when you look her up online, she does not seem like the kind of person that would condone this behavior, but here she is condoning it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let me introduce you guys to Darlie, who is Mrs. Potato.
I thought you were going to say hypocrite.
I mean, I'm just really like, and I can talk about more, but I'm very, so this is Darlie. This is Mrs. Potato.
Hi, I'm Darlie Goddess, and this is my blog. This one's called Gender. Why does it matter? Now, some people may be out there thinking, okay, I'm not very cool with the, whole transsexual thing where they change their gender and they become a different sex. So, the question is, why does it matter to you? What does it matter to you? Is it involved in your life? Is it have anything to do with your life? I mean, your opinion on it is really irrelevant since it's not happening to you, right?
Okay, that buffering is me.
Love her hair.
Would it be better if I
she's
shared it?
beautiful. That is me buffering though, because
She is good looking, I got to admit.
it's too bad. This video was actually quite illuminating, so I wish that it would just play already.
Would it be better if I played it?
Yeah, you have the link, right?
Did you send it to me?
I can send it to you. I'll put it in the private chat, but I did send it to you earlier. Remember, we were discussing how attractive she is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just objectively speaking.
All right, just a second.
So is Miss Potato actually a girl?
So, I mean, she's a
Like
trans
that?
female. She's a
Oh,
trans
okay.
woman. Okay. I'm not. She's trans, and her name is Darlie Brewster. She seems to be a really relatively well-educated, thoughtful, empathetic person from everything that I looked at her. Definitely you can see that she carries the same sort of anti-religion rhetoric that Furry does, but not in the same manner. So, I mean, I have yet to find one video of this woman going out and harassing people in this way. And this video in particular, I found to be really interesting because she's trying to have an open dialogue about, being transgender and what that means to other people. And she seems almost receptive to hearing other people's opinions, which is like the antithesis of what Furry represents. So I'm just extremely confused as to how they got together or why she is complicit in this behavior.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Darlie Goddess, and this is my blog. This one's called Gender. Why does it matter? Now, some of you may be out there thinking, okay, I'm not very cool with the, whole transsexual thing where they change their gender and they become a different sex. So, the question is, why does it matter to you? What does it matter to you? Is it involved in your life? Is it have anything to do with your life? I mean, your opinion on it is really irrelevant since it's not happening to you, right? It's not something you have to go through. It's not something, especially in my case, it's not something you had to pay for or had to deal with or had to live with. I mean, so the question is really important in terms of trying to define why you're so interested. What is it you're so interested about? Are you afraid that you're attracted to someone like that?
It's public knowledge, so I mean, she's not doxing anybody.
Something like that, it makes you gay. I mean, it really has a lot to do with deep psychological things that you yourself seem to need to deal with and need to find out about. A lot of people reject things based on the fact that your assumption of how you think this all works. And, you know, what do you think, you know, if someone doesn't pass physically as a female, you think to yourself, oh, no, I could never, you know, I could never accept that person as a male. Well, that's really interesting because you don't have to accept anyone as anything. All you have to do is leave them alone. I mean, it's as simple as that, isn't it? Leave them alone, not do anything to hurt them, not do anything to cause them problems or make them suffer in their lives. I mean, you may have a lot of things wrong with you that, you know, you don't really understand. And the question is, do people run around trying to deny that? I mean, you could easily just say the same thing about God, you know. You know, you don't have to believe that this person is female, but you run around expecting people to believe that God exists. Now, that's a very funny thing because physically, that person is there. They're physically there. That's their body, that's their mind, they're connected to it. And God is invisible, and there's no proof of God. And at least for someone who's transsexual, they themselves are the proof. I mean, they know what they are, and more often than not, they can really prove it. I mean, many of them you won't be able to tell that they were transsexual. Many of them you won't be able to tell that they were ever male. Some of them are so young. You would have to really look. And the telltale traits, you know, larger hands or whatever things, I mean, they don't really stand out. I mean, a lot of them just go through life and you don't even know who they are at all. I mean, that in itself should be some kind of indication that, you know, really it's none of your business. It's none of your business. And the thing is that you tend to hurt people like that. I'm trying to figure out why. What is it in you that is missing so badly that you need to do that? And I thought I would give this blog a chance so that, you know, you would be able to describe why it is you feel you need to hurt them. You feel you need to invade their lives. And you really
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You know, why?
She's saying that, and she's putting herself out in the public, and then she's saying that we can't have an opinion about that? Really?
Right?
I think what you're saying is that, you know, it's not your life, right? Like, and I mean, I can empathize if not agree with this, and it's just my own personal opinion. But there's nothing that drives me more insane, sorry guys, than when, you know, we start discussing furry and the conversation inevitably goes to furry's gender identity. It really is, in my opinion, nobody's fucking business because we're not the ones who are making that decision for our bodies. That's not our body. We don't have to live with the ramifications, good, bad, or indifferent of that decision, or, you know, we don't live inside their heads, right? It's really nobody's business. So honestly, like, I'm with Darlie on this one. I agree. And I think that even being able to step up on a, you know, this is a public video, this is not doxing, but step up on a public video and say, hey, listen, I understand that a core part of my identity, there are a lot of you that don't agree with, is a pretty courageous and open-minded thing to do.
I think there's another point as well, which is that as critics of people like furry, I think it's important that we don't give them any unnecessary weapons that they can use to dismiss our criticism.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's like, it's just a word, right? So,
well, yeah, if she wants to be called a she, well, then I'll call her a
Yeah.
she. It's not a big deal.
and then it's like she can't say, well, you're just being transphobic.
Right.
Right, and that's what I wanted to follow up with was the fact that I get what she's saying in this video, right? But nobody's judging Furry for what she's doing with her body. We're judging Furry on the behaviors and her actions. And if she feels like people are digging at her for whatever she has going on, she needs to take a look at what she's doing to all the community centers and all the. There's an echo somewhere. Look at all the shit she's doing. All right, I'm going to stop talking because I can't.
No, you took the words out of my mouth.
But you know what? The fact of the matter is that, like, it's true that, you know, like, Furry does get attacked, and I think unnecessarily, for her gender identity, which is why I try to make such a distinction with the fact that I like to focus on the merits of one's character and, like, nothing outside of that. You know, I don't feel it necessary to comment on Furry's gender identity, Furry's physical appearance, and God knows, like, they do that to me, right? But I just don't feel that needs to be reciprocated. I guess my shock here is that we have Mrs. Potato Darley, who is objectively speaking, attractive in my opinion. Well-spoken, her affect is calm, she's reasonable, she's very successful, she's worked in a lot of, you know, high-profile animation projects, and she's clearly essentially assumed the role of producer for Furry's channel. Why? How?
Yeah, I don't know. But
maybe she offered her something that she couldn't refuse.
I just wanted to, Kate. That's what Kate said.
Who's echoing?
I don't know.
It's somebody that don't have a mic.
Is it not you, Geraldo?
It's not me.
It's not me. Pat, kill the video. That should fix it.
All right, let's see.
Hello.
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 Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. So basically, what I was saying was, it was a
Still doing it.
Well, then
that's coming from you, Kate.
Yeah, it's coming from Kate.
Yep. You got something open, Kate.
Yep.
All right. Now let's see. She's muted. Now let's see if it happens. Is it happening?
Nope.
You're good.
Nothing.
Yep. So I just wanted to, like Shiva, I wanted to reinforce the fact that, from what I understand, most of the people, the 90% of the people that I talk to about it, that's irrelevant to them. Her and what she's doing. It's her behaviors and the shit she's doing out in the public. And if she thinks that she deserves respect and she deserves to not be judged in a specific way, while you're out judging others, calling them names, trashing them, invading their privacy, like the shit she's doing. But now this lady's going to come on and say, we have to look at it from this way. To me, you're just sugarcoating fucking junk. Like, none of us are doing that. Nobody's making fun of her. Nobody gives a fuck if she's transgender. We don't give a fuck any of that. We give a fuck about what she's filming, who she's filming, and how she's doing it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So that video was just like the poor pity me. Maybe people will see this and really think that these people were haters. It's basically saying that all the people who have come at her, that video there is saying all the people who have come at her in that way. That's what she's saying by that video. And she's asking for it to be stopped. But nobody did that.
What are you talking about? What video?
Like that video that she's talking about.
No.
No.
That video is like 12 years old. That has absolutely nothing to do. And she's not asking people to stop. Yeah, it's a vlog. Like, no. Totally out of context. Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. That's how I took it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
Still, I wonder why she hooked up with Furry, who treats nobody with any type of respect.
Right, and
Like-
it's just absolutely mind blowing. I would assume that Mrs. Potato is, offering some financial backing to this as well. I'm just like, I genuinely want to know why somebody who looks like they are a respectable member of society would co-sign things like, furry sexually harassing a woman on the street or accosting a woman who's putting her dog to sleep in front of an animal clinic. Like, I hear the message loud and clear from Darlie here. She says, my genitals are none of your business. And I agree with that. But that woman that was just standing in her driveway and had her crotch area zoomed in on with the camera and then demeaning and sexually harassing comments made about her vagina, her genitals are nobody's business either.
Yep.
How much other hateful shit on top of all of that has she done? How many people has she pepper sprayed?
Yeah.
Right. And
You know
here
what
we
I
have
mean?
somebody
Like-
who very clearly, vocally anyway, outwardly takes a stand against hate. So why is it that outwardly you're taking a stand against hate, but then behind the scenes, under the alias Mrs. Potato, you're essentially funding and supporting hate?
I just want to
Maybe
take
it was Miss Potatoes following up with the FBI on you.
I just want to take a second to thank everybody in chat for all the donations that are coming through, all the likes and all the shares.
Yeah.
You're a big part of this community, and I just want to always take time out to give you guys thanks for that. Keep the questions coming in. We'll answer questions probably towards the end of the show. So if you have any questions,
but yeah, I gotta drop somebody down because Omaha's really trying to get in here. I don't know who wants
Drop
to
me.
do that. All right,
I'll drop down.
it's whoever. I can let you back up. We'll put the link back out. We just gotta let Omaha, and I think Desert has gone AWOL, so I'm just gonna kick him for now. Yeah, maybe that'll do it. I don't know where Desert is.
There's a Kevin D down there. I'm not sure who that is though.
What's that? Oh yeah, Kevin D. Sorry, I was gonna let him in, but I was trying to make a spot for all right, Omaha. Hi, Kevin.
Oh.
I mean, you can drop me down if you want, Kate.
Oh, it's okay. I think we're oh no, NJ. Sorry, NJ, I have to drop you down for now. Gosh, can y'all wait until we get Omaha up here? Because Omaha wants to ask us questions.
I got answers. Let's see if they match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy to answer Omaha's questions. All right, Omaha, get in here, guy.
I didn't know this was a press conference all of a sudden.
Yeah, I didn't even powder my chins for this.
There he
There we
is.
go. Here's Omaha. All right.
How you guys
What's up,
doing,
Floyd?
man? How you guys doing in the chat? I mean, in the
Hey.
panel. How you doing?
Hello, Omaha.
Hello,
Doing
Omaha.
all right. I'm gonna mute my cam. All right. I do have a couple questions.
Okay.
Do you guys genuinely, and this is reasonable, I'm not gonna ask nothing that's, out there or anything like that. Do you guys genuinely think that all auditors or all people that film police officers are fraudsters? That's what the term is, fraudsters. Because that's
Nope.
No.
Oh, we went over this Tuesday night.
No,
yeah, no.
Nope.
no.
It's
Okay.
a real easy answer. No, there's only a few of you guys.
Like this is something we've actually answered many a times. I feel
Yeah,
like
actually.
since Massholes started.
Right.
You know, there's a really good one in the chat right now, Southside Slacker.
Oh, I love
I rate him.
Southside.
Yeah.
I'm about accountability. So, and I'm one of the bigger part of this community. I'm all about accountability. So that other, hey, Omaha, that other team doesn't know what's going on over here, bro. We got it over here. We got both sides working together.
That sounds pretty good, man. That sounds pretty good, man. All right, next question.
Sounds good on paper.
So what do you guys think about? I've seen you guys make a couple of videos about me. I mean, I don't really pay attention because I'm busy a lot.
Who is this directed towards?
Well,
Can I stop you right there, Floyd?
Yeah, go
with
ahead.
all due respect, I've made one video about you, and if you're not paying attention, that's odd because you were in the comments within 15 minutes of it posting.
Oh man, we're gonna do this. Okay. If we're gonna do this,
Well, I mean,
All right.
don't
I'm-
act like don't minimize like you didn't watch the video. You
No, I
had
didn't
to.
say I didn't watch. I didn't say I didn't watch it. I
But
watched
you minimized
it.
it.
Of
You
course.
minimized
It's about
it.
me. I'm gonna watch it. I'm
Hold
not gonna
on,
say-
hold on.
Can I just clarify who is the question directed at? Is it just Kate or is it everybody on the
No,
panel?
everybody. I'm not singling anybody out. I'm just asking questions
Well, no.
for the
Well,
panel.
Kate, it was Kate's show, so she could answer the question about it.
Okay. That's cool. It's whatever works for you guys. Man.
No,
But what is
speak. Sorry.
All right.
Well-
What's your opinion about me? Like, do you guys really think that the way I go about content creating at this point, because I'm not part of the auditing community still, content creating. You guys think I'm gonna get shot? Because people keep saying that, and I don't see it.
I
Okay,
honestly
let
think
me-
you're trying to get shot.
Hold on. Yeah, I'll leave that off
Well, if
because
you're going-
I speak for asshole first and foremost, and I'll let everybody else answer. Floyd, with all due respect, you are going to high traffic areas full of people that have no idea what you're doing. You are dressing in a way that I think we can concede is intentionally provocative, right? And you are moving in such a way that is erratic and concerning. You are then, when the police show up, non-compliant, maybe not aggressively non-compliant, but non-compliant enough that one cumulative with your previous behavior is of concern. And I saw you try to pull away from an officer who had you at gunpoint. I think that it is reasonable to believe that your behavior could put you at risk for being shot. And I'll address the elephant in the room and say that you are also a Black man in America behaving in this way. In some very Midwestern to Southern areas.
And
Can I say something?
Associating.
Can I say something?
Associating.
Can I say something next? Omaha.
Well, Shiva was talking, so could we let?
Yeah, that's fine. Shiva, go.
It was just going to be one sentence. Associating with people like Josh Abrams. I mean, that's going to increase your likelihood of getting shot, mate.
Oh, 100%.
Can I say
Okay.
something, Kate?
Yes.
So, Floyd, I don't know how much you've watched since I've been on here, but I'm a police officer in the state of Georgia. And after seeing your behavior on several videos, I'm surprised that you have not, been tased, you have not been shot, or some of the other things, because your behavior is very, very likely to get you hurt. Because if I'm a police officer and you're acting all suspicious, you got coming up to me with your hands in your pocket, I don't know if you're trying to pull out a weapon. I don't know what you're trying to do. So, look, like I said, I understand that you want to film, you want to keep cops accountable. That's fine. I don't have a problem with anybody filming me on a traffic stop or conducting my business. That's fine. I don't care. If you want to do that, I really don't care. But it crosses a line when you start interfering with either police business or you do stuff to get that for a fact is going to get the police called on you, and then not expect the police to act weird, or understand what you're doing when they come up, So, and part of it, I don't blame you entirely for that. You were running with Josh Abrams, and that, like Shiva said, that's also part of the trouble as well too. So,
Okay.
And so, Floyd, what I wanted to say to you is this. I say this to auditors a lot. When you go into a situation where you're going to film whatever it is, a building, police, whatever it is, when you go into it with a narrative where, like, this is going to happen, like, where you're producing the video, it's not a natural accountability. You're not doing anything natural because ultimately your goal is to get interaction by doing what you're doing, right? Acting the way you're acting. And that's the only way that you're going to get those numbers is by doing it. But if you would just do it natural and just be a normal person and audit, That's it. You're being a
Don't-
scummy auditor.
Don't
Like,
make yourself.
Okay. No, keep talking. No, keep talking, man.
Don't make yourself the story.
Well, all right. I want to eat. Are you guys done, or do more people? I want to hear everybody's opinion because I don't want to be the bad person that talk over people. I want to get everybody's opinion on this before I start talking and coming. So, okay, I'm assuming people are done. What I do is legal. All right. It may be suspicious, and I want to address the police officer guy. Everything I do is legal. I can't help it if a cop pulls a firearm on me. I put my hands in my pocket because it's legal. Now I'm willing to take the risk that other auditors are not willing to take. That's my opinion, my right. As long as I don't break the law, as long as I don't do nothing to nobody, as long as I don't break the law, as long as I don't hurt nobody, as long as I'm within the Constitution and doing things legally, everything I did is legal. It's not my fault that officers want to pull ARs, pistols, shotguns, tasers. It's not my fault.
Hold on.
It is your fault. It is your fault.
Robert, you got to stop interrupting people, guy. I'm going to drop Robert down. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. So, first of all, putting your hands in your pockets is not an issue of legal or illegal. I did something last year that I would actually encourage you to do if you could maybe put your pride aside and be decent to the officers in your area, which is called the FATS training. It's the Firearm Safety Training, right? So it's essentially a virtual training that most officers all over the country go through in their police departments, where they work through scenarios for use of force, right? They're not drawing weapons because a crime has or has not occurred. They're drawing weapons for their own safety, and particularly where you're doing things in very high traffic public areas, the safety of others. So when you're walking up to them with your hands in your pockets, they're not thinking that's illegal, this is a criminal. They're thinking, I don't know what's in his pocket. And I can say that as a civilian who went through this training, that these scenarios, which are based on real life police interactions, there are instances when you shoot and you realize afterwards that person was unarmed because of their behavior, or other instances where you hesitate or fail to shoot, and then you're shot dead by the perpetrator. So that is why they're pulling guns on you. It's not because they think that you are necessarily doing anything illegal. It's because you are doing things in an erratic manner that makes them fear for their safety and the safety of others. And that in that case, you are actually doing something to other people. Because if the officers are concerned about their safety and the people who are calling 911 are concerned about their safety, whose rights are you really protecting?
Well, here's the thing, Kate. All right. I've done this to different police officers, which I can legally do, right? If I don't touch them. I've had officers that came up to me respectfully. Hey, how you doing? You want my business card? They've actually been polite. They don't do what these other officers do. And what I realized too, all right, I got a speech impediment, so bear with me here. A lot of the officers go straight for the firearms instead of their tasers, which you don't go lethal when you see no weapon. Like I said, I can put my hands in my pocket for legal reasons. Maybe I'm nervous, so that helps me calm down. Or, just the fact that everything I do is legal until I start breaking the law. I don't touch officers. Like in that one video when he claimed I grabbed him. I didn't grab him at all. And he pulled a gun on me for no reason, for no legal reason. He could have come at me differently. He could have drove by and said nothing. There was a couple cops that did that. There's a couple cops when I filmed. They looked at me and they did nothing, and that's a pass. Some came up and said, "How you doing? Do you need any assistance?" No, have a good day. Some of them did that, and I did the same thing, right? And they didn't bother. It's always the ones that are undertrained that do those things. Because I have people talk to me all the time with their hands in their pocket, and I don't pull guns on them. So I think officers are supposed to be above it than us because they're supposed to enforce the laws, So for them to pull a gun on me for nothing illegal, because I did nothing wrong, and sometimes being thrown in jail for false charges, it's absurd. It's not a good thing, and that's my opinion on that. And that's what I
Okay.
kept wanting to come here and clarify to you guys because.
So
Floyd?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead, bud.
Why do you put your hands in your pocket? And I just want to say the answer because it's legal isn't really what I'm after. What I'm asking.
I'm not gonna give you that answer. I'm not gonna give you
You're
that
not
answer.
gonna. You're not gonna give me the answer. Why not?
I'm not gonna give you the legal answer. You say because it's legal. I'm not gonna give you that answer as far as illegal. I wasn't gonna say that at all.
All right.
The real
Okay.
reason
So why do you?
Let me answer it. The
Yeah.
real reason why is because I get nervous sometimes. My anxiety gets high. When I stick my hands in my pocket, because like I said, people already know I have a lot of mental issues. It actually helps me calm down when I have my hands in my pocket. That's why I'm not afraid. When an officer pulls a firearm on me, it doesn't scare me. All right? You think it doesn't scare me. The reason why I put my hands in my pocket is because of anxiety. I have real high anxiety. I get nervous.
Well, the officers don't know that.
Yeah, they
Nobody
don't know
knows
if you got something on them because the officers want to go home and see their families. So if you got your hands in your pocket, how do they know? They don't have X-ray visions. They're probably thinking, "Oh, he's probably got a weapon, or he's got drugs on him. He's acting highly suspicious and everything."
I mean, when
So
I
how do you explain that?
when I started auditing, one of the rules that we had is don't be the story. You're filming the story.
Well, which one
You
is he talking?
don't insert yourself into the story where you are the story.
I can't help how officers react. Like I said, people will always put their hands in their pocket.
Floyd,
I'm pretty sure you talk to somebody.
Floyd. So when
Floyd.
we
That
when
is
we
just, yeah, come on.
And I gotta say that one thing that I've noticed here is officers are at an initiative deficit. Sorry, can't talk tonight. So anytime there's any kind of interaction, I have over about 30 hours of peace officer standardized training in firearms, and when they're coming out to do something like that, they have to react to a situation. And a lot of times, if they wait for the moment that a weapon is visible, they're already dead because they don't have time to react. And you have to take that into account as well. There is that problem. It's not the officer's fault. It is they have to predict what you might do.
Okay, now here's the thing I'm gonna say to that. People say that police officers do this and police officers do that. Well, you gotta understand. I understand that being a police officer is dangerous. No, I understand. I completely do. Being a civilian is dangerous as well. But they choose to be officers. That's like, and hear me out on this. Okay, hear me out. Right. That's like going to the army. Right. You go to the army. Right. And when it's time to go to war, you don't want to go to war because you sign up for it. Because you don't want to go to war because you sign up for it. So you can't really.
Sorry, that's a false analogy. That is a
Floyd,
false
that's like me
analogy.
going to the
Hang
military.
on.
It's like
Hang on,
going to the
hang on.
military and
That's
not want to go to war. That's
a false sorry. That's a false analogy. Now here's why. Right, when a soldier goes into combat, they know what they're going to face. Right, when a police officer attends an incident, they have no idea about the individual in front of them. The individual in front of them might be a lucid and sane person, or the person in front of them might be an armed lunatic, right? I mean, we've got them in the UK. I'm sure you have them in the States.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing.
Okay. Well, hold on, Floyd. What I understand when I became a police officer, I understand that I was going to put my life on the line for communities. I'm willing to take a bullet, all that stuff. However, what I did not sign up for was to simply be killed just because of the uniform that I'm wearing. Because the fact that I'm a police officer, somebody wants to kill me, which is going on across the country right now. So now, like I said, I'm accepting that fact as part of the job, but it's I shouldn't have to worry about when I go home at the end of the day, is somebody going to follow me to my house and put a bullet in my head because they don't like cops.
No, and I completely understand that, but you signed up for a job. That's pretty much what it is. You signed up for a job, and you choose to do that type of work, if you don't feel safe working as a police officer, don't get me wrong, I have no hatred towards cops. You know, I don't like them, but I have no hatred towards them. If you feel unsafe of being a police officer, why not get a different job? Work at Walmart or work at a corporate job. You know, there's different jobs out here. Man, I understand that being a cop pays a lot of money. Trust me, I understand.
Floyd.
You know, and I think hold on. If I became a cop, if I ever became a cop, I could probably do it better. I'm just saying.
Then go become a
Oh,
cop.
okay.
Floyd,
Why don't you
Floyd,
go to police academy, put on the badge, go through the training, and do everything? I'd be more than happy for you to do that.
So you'll give me a job
Put your money where your mouth is.
No, I
Put
will.
your
No,
money where your mouth is.
I will. I'll come to Georgia. You give me a job, and I'll show you what's done. How it's done. I'll show you how it's done.
If you
I will not be afraid.
If you were going to be a police officer, then you would understand that if somebody approaches you with their hands in their pockets, you have to pull your weapon. Like, that's just, you know, this is a complete false narrative. You're saying that you could do the job better, and you're saying that, you know, it's their fault for taking the job. Like, nobody's saying that these cops are complaining about being in danger. They are simply approaching the situation that you're creating as they are trained to do. And as a testament to their training, you haven't been shot yet.
And I hope I never get shot. I hope I never get shot. I should not have to worry.
I think you want to get shot, or you take your fucking hands out of your pocket, Floyd. Let's be real.
Yeah,
Let's
I
be
may
real.
interject.
So if I wanted that to happen, why would I have to put my hand in my pocket for that to happen? Cops shoot unarmed people all the time for no reason. You know, that's
Hasn't
happened.
shot you.
That's
You're
not-
giving them.
Right.
That's not true.
Yeah, Kate, if I may interject,
Absolutely.
I can speak from some experience because my father was a police officer for 26 years. He never pulled his gun in the line of duty. The only time he cleared leather was to clean it, load it, and use it at the firing range to qualify on an annual basis. He had been through, yeah, it's a small town that he was a police officer in. He went from patrolman to lieutenant and was acting chief for a couple of weeks. And the funny part about it is he's had everything done to him, including a sawed-off shotgun held in his chest. Now, he made a career of it, and he lived through it. And yeah, he did serve his country in World War II. And, excuse me.
I would also challenge your I don't break the law, Floyd, with the fact that you have just been criminally charged for this behavior, correct?
Yeah, excuse me a minute. And yeah, he served his country as a naval aviator. And he was also a lieutenant in the Navy Reserve. Oh, there he goes. Was that his action?
Yep.
He's done.
He's not,
Yeah,
not looking at anybody.
it's a case of when faced with truth, people can't handle it. When they know they're wrong, they run. And that has been my experience and my father's.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Yeah.
Super.
I was gonna say
All right,
there's
we'll
a
give
lot
Floyd
to
another
that.
and then we're gonna move on because, like, you know, there's only so much that we can handle of this for one night. All right,
Well,
hi
I
Floyd.
appreciate you guys letting me on the show. I just wanted to discuss that. No, but seriously though, the Georgia person, if you I'll come down there and take you up on your offer, bud.
So you
serious.
can
What offer is
apply.
that?
You can apply as a police officer to any freaking police department in the country. You
They
go
won't
ahead.
accept
Now,
the
they might
felons,
not
but
like
I'll apply for it. I don't need no firearm, man. I'll do.
All right,
Yeah,
have you
already
ever gone, what do
they
they
don't
call that,
accept
a
felons. You
ride?
said you based on, you know, the psychological component. You don't have training. You don't. I'm assuming you don't have much of a work history. That's just a pipe dream. That's a non sequitur. Let's not play that game. The fact of the matter is, you're unqualified to be a police officer. Therefore, you would not do a better job than someone who is qualified, which is just about everybody on the force. So we could entertain these delusions all night.
You know, I don't know
I'm
that.
going to change reality. Now, I will say this. I do give you credit for taking a plea bargain on a $30 fine, because if you died on that hill over 2 charges that were essentially non-jailable, you'd be a fucking retard. So congratulations on being at least enough of a non-fuckwit that you made a decision that was intelligent and took that plea deal. I don't appreciate Abrams shitting on you for that.
And speaking of fuckwits, Omaha, you should stop by the shit show sometime.
Hey, have fun there.
Yeah. I had one
I'll be
last thing I
delighted to come
wanted
on
to
your
say.
show again at some point. I'll be delighted to come back on at some point. But I'm going to head out, guys, because obviously you guys are busy. I need to let my phone
All right,
charge.
dude. Thanks for stopping by. You're welcome anytime.
Thanks for coming, Floyd.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the easiest ways for him to get a free education would be the Active Self-Protection channel with John Correa on YouTube. He breaks all that stuff down and makes it extremely clear why it is that this guy is likely to get shot. So anyway, that's all I had.
Well,
We gave him plenty of chance. We let him talk. We let him ask questions.
Well, something Floyd could do too. He didn't have to get a job as a police officer, but he could do a ride along with the local department if he wanted to.
That's what I was trying to suggest. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other side of it, he made mention that they wouldn't take me because they won't give a felon a gun. That's fine. You have a history, and as long as you've not joined the ranks of the recidivisms, I salute the fact that you've straightened yourself out. What I don't care for is the attitude that all cops are bad. They are not. They are like any other human group of people. There are good people in it. There are people that just are there to earn their job, to earn their pension, to earn their benefits. There are people there that truly want to do the job that they've held up their hand and swore an oath to. And then there are those that are there to bully people. Like any other walk of life, you will get all kinds.
That was
I'm sorry, I'm done.
Well, no, it's just it was something I wanted to mention that I don't know how many people are aware of it. Him talking about, oh well, I'm reaching in my pockets, I'm not doing anything that's illegal. Doesn't matter. You could have a fucking knife in your pocket. So a lot of people don't know about the 21-foot rule, which is if somebody has a knife and they're within 21 feet of you, they're likely to get to you first before you can pull out your firearm and shoot them.
Yeah, what people don't realize is it's not the Wild West out there. These officers are not running around ready to pull at a moment's notice. They must release a safety strap on that gun before they can even pull it from the holster. Like I say, this is not quick draw Dodge City of the 1800s. There are mandatory things that they have to do before they draw the gun. There are mandatory things that they have to protocols that they have to follow before they're allowed to use lethal force. And if you don't believe it, go into your state's attorney general's office online and look up use of force. Every state has something in their websites on the AG's level for use of force.
That was just, honest to God, it's pretty simple. Just take your hands out of your pockets. And he knows he's trying to bait them. He started off by saying, oh, I push them as far as I possibly can. Then you can't fault them for doing what is protocol. Because I'm telling you, having done that training, it really opened my eyes to the split-second decisions that you have to make when you are working a beat, right? And, how... you really can't take chances. You can't assume, oh, this kid just has his hands in his pockets because he's nervous, especially when they get a multitude of 911 calls on that behavior. Like it was a tense situation to begin with by design.
Well, yeah, he's out. What I saw, he's out there jumping around like a lunatic.
Well,
yeah, crawling around on the ground.
Well, something else too that people don't realize is the way a call comes out to us through dispatch, the call could be completely different when we get there than how it comes out over the phone. Because you've got a person trying to relay information to a dispatcher who's already stressed out, so their sense of getting details and everything else might be off. The dispatcher is interpreting that information, and then they're relaying that to us. So, and a lot of times, I can't tell you how many times I've been to calls, and the information was different. The most clear example I can think of was we got a call about a child that was supposedly wandering around an apartment building, and we got there, and what had happened is the child did walk out the door and down close to the stairs at the apartment that the child was at, but was not walking around in the parking lot or anything like that. So, I mean, that can determine also how police, how they act is by what the information they have on the scene. And that's what Graham v. Connor, which is the Supreme Court case that, takes a look at when officers use force, they are looked at with the force they use with the facts and circumstances of what they knew at the time, not with 20/20 hindsight.
Well, that's probably worse with civilians too, because let's say you're walking down the street, right? You got some idiot like him. What are you gonna do? Like, the cops are gonna obviously take a little while, so it's like, and this guy's got his hands in his pocket, and you don't know what that person has,
Well, yeah, the cop comes up to the scene, he sees that person, he's calling for backup.
No, I'm saying
know.
as a civilian, like what he's doing and everything.
Good evening.
Hey, Avalon.
Good evening. Sorry, guys.
Hey there. I got a quick comment for the for the Leos in the chat here, and feel free to challenge this if you like, because it's gonna it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. The training that cops get in regards to what Kate was talking about, how you have to react split-second decision. I think that leads to too many cases of cops ending up shooting somebody out of concern that they have a weapon, and then they don't have a weapon. Now, I don't root for any situation in which a police officer or anyone gets in a firefight. But if they do, I would expect them to survive a bit more because they have armor and they have the training to use their gun more proficiently. So I would rather the officer, wait a little bit and see if, because it's not going to happen as often. Now, if there is a gun and they do get in that firefight, I understand they want to go home too, and they should. But that's where the training and the armor comes in to give them the advantage.
So the issue with that is, the problem is there's too many. So I hear what you're saying, but the thing is, the Supreme Court has said that police officers are allowed to use deadly force if they are in fear of death or serious bodily harm of themselves or somebody else. That's Tennessee v. Garner. That's a Supreme Court case. So that is the standard, usually a threshold for the use of deadly force. And there are a lot of different factors that go into looking at a case where an officer uses deadly force. What was the person doing? What was the crime or the alleged crime, if there was a crime? The actions that the officer took, all kinds of different things. I'm not saying there's situations like the Dallas, scenario where the officer, she went into the wrong house and shot somebody because she thought she was in the wrong apartment, or she thought she was in her apartment
Botham
or whatever.
Jean. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a clear scenario of not being in the right, being in the right. But like, for example, Jacob Blake was fighting with officers. They tried to tase him twice, and then he's walking around his vehicle, and people are notorious for having weapons and items that can be used as weapons in vehicles. And
Did
so
they
then
find
he
one?
starts reaching. They did. They found a knife on the floorboard of the car, and he starts reaching in the vehicle for something. They try to grab him, and they are telling him, they're giving him verbal commands to stop doing what he's doing, and then they shot him. So
Excuse me, are you all aware of the other video that shows the struggle at the rear of the vehicle?
there's 2 videos.
No, I did not see that one. I only saw the 20 seconds from the.
Yeah, and the media won't show the beginning of that video much either. All they'll show is the part where he's up again, walking around the vehicle.
Yep. So there's
Interesting
another
how
video.
that goes on.
It's not right that they don't show the whole thing, or
Well, it don't fit their narrative.
well, have them put it somewhere where there is no narrative.
They won't.
On Discord, that's for sure. I know, I put it there.
Okay, I'll go look for it there then.
Yeah, Kate, did I dump it on your chat? One of your chats? I usually do it. I usually do them in pairs. There was a Officer 401 narrative that gave you a little bit more information about the individual, and then I gave the second video.
Yeah.
Well, one of Omaha's mistakes was he went out with Josh.
That's
I
a
mean,
huge mistake.
But outside of the association, his behavior, like that goes very, very, clearly on there.
Well, I know Josh egged that on. I mean, just by the way, that's just the way Josh is. He says, "Oh, I could get some fucking footage with this guy." I mean,
yeah.
That's all Josh was thinking about. He couldn't care less about Omaha Cop Block. And he already proved it because he fucked him over.
Yeah, I mean, I just, the way that he's trying to justify his behavior, I find to be ridiculous. Now, I know DB wants to jump on the panel. I'm going to put the link up one more time. And then speaking of Josh, we are going to talk about him too.
We gotta get to the other topics, right, Kate?
Well, I'll drop down if you need the room.
Well, I hate to
we
do
have
this, but we should start a pool to find Josh a good bra.
There's always one. Every time.
Same with SGV.
Gosh, because he didn't exist.
Oh. All right, hold on. I think we got somebody here.
Again, it wouldn't be Masshole Report if we didn't talk about Josh's tits on here.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta bring it up.
Really?
Fix is not
Why?
here. I don't know.
Fixer's thing. Nobody else needs to jump on that boat.
If you want to jump
All
on
right,
DB one more time with the link, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, excuse me a second, real quick. The new angle Jacob Blake shooting is in the private chat.
Whoa. Somebody's echoing.
Yeah, somebody's using open voice.
It shouldn't be me.
Hello?
Oh, I have a bad habit of muting in between soliloquies.
Hey, Danny.
Can you guys hear me?
Barely.
Yeah, you're really quiet.
How about now?
Barely hear you.
Yeah, no.
All right, I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, there we go.
Better.
You're better.
Yeah, loud and clear. I bet you Josh probably taught Floyd some things that he's holding dear to.
And FYI, the second video is the one from the Officer 401, quote, "the truth about Jacob Blake," unquote.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to see because of the shaking.
Hello, Danny?
I just see black.
Yeah, me
He's
too.
just, All right,
My
we're gonna
finger
drop
on
him
the
out.
remove button. Yeah, good idea.
Okay, moving on. So, Pat, I guess I'm going to give you this video. It's already, hold on. I think I put it in the private chat, but I'll do it again. It's queued up to the timestamp. So we'll play this and talk about what Abrams says. And then I'm going to pull out some documentation to refute particularly one of his claims.
It doesn't look queued up. Do you? How far in was it?
It's already queued up.
It's not. It's at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Then the timestamp is 51 minutes.
I just want to jump in and say, hey, cunts.
Hey, Sasha.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Sasha.
Hey, Sasha.
Furry, you're still a bitch. God, look at that mouth.
Nice face.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do we really need to stare up his nose?
Right now.
No, I didn't think that.
Josh, because he didn't accept the invitation, that he decided to just go out. And whether he lost, I don't know if he lost internet or decided just to be a gentleman and exit. I don't know what he did.
A gentleman. But do you think anything he's done is a gentleman? Do you think anything that he's done is that of an activist and a gentleman?
He didn't come on and rip you a new asshole.
And nor would he. First of all, nor would he be able to. The problem.
When you put up his picture and you put across it fraud.
Okay, because he is a fraud. What he did was a fraud.
I would say he was being a gentleman.
He's a fraud.
Okay, but Brian, what he did was a fraud thing to do. You can't be a gentleman
and rip you a new asshole.
Well, first of all, he couldn't have because he's out of his league. He wouldn't have been able to rip me a new asshole. He wouldn't be able to stand with that argument. But let's put that aside for a second, right? If this situation is where, like, look at what he did. So it's like if someone goes and fucks a chicken, like Numi fucks a chicken, and then I put a picture of him up and I say chicken fucker. Is he then being a gentleman because he doesn't ream me out for stating what is plainly obvious to the rest of the world? No, I spoke the truth. If the truth hurts, then that's not something I can control. I didn't create his truth. What I did offer him was an olive branch. He doesn't want to take it.
Tomorrow?
Josh,
Tomorrow?
Do you have a court date tomorrow?
You know I don't discuss my court dates.
Do you have? I'm just asking. Do you have a court date tomorrow? So
you know I don't discuss my.
Will you absolutely guarantee us right now that if you have a court date tomorrow, that you and your lawyer have negotiated a better deal?
My court date for a proponent plea deal is on the 17th, not tomorrow.
So you have a plea deal?
No, I don't have a plea deal. The DA is offering a plea deal. Yes, that means when the DA offers it, just like they've offered it before.
Right. So you're going to discuss a plea deal.
No, I'm not going to discuss a plea deal. They offer a plea deal. They've done it before. This is not the first time.
And you're going to tell us right now.
And it's not gonna be a second time.
You will not accept a deal, no matter what.
Why would I listen? Don't try and shit. Like, first of all, I don't know why you're trying to protect this fucking kid, but don't insult don't you fucking insult my integrity. Don't you fucking for a minute insult my fucking integrity. Listen,
Josh,
he is a fucking fraud. He is a fucking fraud.
Josh,
I'm telling you,
Josh,
I guarantee it's going to be a straight up guilty, not guilty. You're going to go to court and you're going to let the judge, jury, or whoever make the decision that you and your lawyer is not going to plea deal it.
Unless based on evidence they drop the case. That could always happen.
So you're guaranteeing us it's a straight up.
If they drop the case, it's not a plea deal, right?
No.
Guilty, not guilty.
I have no idea.
That's what have I been telling you for the past 8 months? And I think I talked to you when they offered me the last plea deal. Did I not? What did I tell them then?
Did it's a yes or no?
So they offered me. Well, what do you fucking think? Because they offered me
I don't know.
less
You
numbers
tell
the
me.
last time.
You're saying.
So
you're
listen.
saying if a guy officer, if a guy.
It should be obvious to you that I'm not taking the fucking deal. So if you want to try and jump down my throat, why don't you get on the right side of things?
So it's
Josh.
guilty, not guilty. That's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm not. I'm saying maybe they dropped the case. They could drop the fucking case.
Okay, if they drop the case, great. But if they don't,
Oh,
drop
they
the
can.
Case, you're saying it's a straight up.
Oh, they can.
Guilty, not guilty. That's what you're saying. Yes or no?
Oh,
If
they
they don't
can.
drop the case, if they don't
yes
drop,
or no? Yes or no?
I've already said fucking I'm not taking the deal. Are you like dense in your head? See, I know what you're trying to do.
You're taking the deal. I'm asking you, is it going to be if it goes to court?
I've already said I'm taking it to trial. Are you out of your fucking minds? See, you just keep running your jib. That's what you keep doing.
I'm out of my fucking mind to think I'm going to get a straight answer out of you. Yes.
Oh, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Josh, can I
That's
ask you a
doing.
question?
I'm out of my fucking mind to think
I think, yeah.
busy sending out emails. Yes. I'm out of my fucking mind to think
Emails to
you're
who?
contact with 2 states with fucking emails. Yes. But I'm
Emails
asking
to
you
who?
right now,
About what? Emails to who about what? No, I'm not. Yes, I'm going to trial, but emails to who about what?
okay, so it's a straight up yes or no.
I already answered the fucking question 3 times, you dumb fuck. I said I'm going to trial, you stupid fuck.
And you're
Are you not
not
speaking
taking
English?
plea deal in trial, no matter what the plea is, no matter what they offer you, you're not taking it. It's a
How many
straight up
times do I have to give you the same answer for the same
You haven't
fucking
given
question?
me
Are you
the
dumb?
answer.
I said I'm going to trial, you dumb fuck. To trial, to trial, to trial, to trial, to trial, to trial. Do you speak that English?
Sounds clear enough to me.
Why do I have to have this?
The question's been answered. Are you fucking drunk tonight?
He's so
Josh,
triggered.
You must be
behave
fucking
yourself.
drunk tonight.
Behave yourself.
Are you
Behave
high
Josh
on
ain't
your
listening to nobody.
medication?
You are getting
Behave
excited for no
yourself,
reason.
Josh.
Calm down a little bit and just answer the question.
I did 5 fucking times, so there's no reason to answer it again. Let's do a panel. Bill, what did I say the answer to my question was? Ask everyone if they heard it. Are you the only one that's
I've
fucking
asked you
deaf?
yes or no, and you won't say yes or no.
Yes, I did. I said fucking I'm going to trial 10 times. Are you stupid?
Going to trial,
Josh.
you'll not offer, you'll not take anything.
What do you think trial is? Are you mentally retarded?
No, you are mentally retarded because
Oh my God, you guys. This guy is drunk.
He went to a fucking court.
Josh.
He went to the freaking judge, and they was offered a deal in the courtroom, and he told that's not the same thing. He was offered a deal in the courtroom, and he accepted it.
Brian, I'm not taking any deals, you dumb fuck. What don't you get? I'm not Floyd. I'm not Floyd Wallace.
Ouch.
No deals. No deals. No deals. What do you speak English? No deals. What does that mean? What does no deals mean? What does no deals mean? That means fucking the jury decides, you dumb fuck. No deals. What does that mean to you?
Okay, so that's your answer. The jury's going to decide.
That's been my answer. Are you dumb?
That's your answer. The jury's going to decide, right?
Are you not speaking English? I've said that 10 times.
Yes or no, you stupid.
It's been a yes, you dumb cocksucking fucking piece of shit. It's been a yes, you fucking moron. You are a dumb sucking fucking son of a bitch, is what you are.
That's what happens when you get a lot of people together who love to talk and not listen.
You may be able to trick yourself, but you're not going to trick me.
Trick them for what? Let's do this. So let's do this. So let's do this. Let's do this. I'm a snitch now.
As far as I'm concerned, you're a fucking snitch.
I'm a snitch now.
You know what snitch means.
So explain yourself.
You say something, Kate?
I think you're a fucking snitch.
Explain yourself.
Have this shit before.
Explain yourself.
Where's it coming from? Like
when I get emails
Oh,
from
they
the
can hear
police
you.
department and they tell us who sent out.
That's enough of that video. Okay, so
yes, thank you.
my comment, first of all, would be objectively speaking, yes, Brian's a dumb shit because he answered his question literally about 15 times. I don't understand if Brian was under the influence of something or what, but like it's very clear.
Oh man.
He answered he will not take a deal. Okay, like everybody heard that, right? Pat, you heard that?
Yeah, it was funny though.
Many times.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Is there a difference between not taking a plea and pleading guilty?
you know what? I'm not going to speculate. I'm not his lawyer. Obviously, Abrams is pretty tight-lipped about this whole plea deal scenario outside of repeating a million times to a brick wall with eyes that he's not going to confront. I
Well,
don't know.
if you're pleading guilty, you're pleading guilty what was charged. If you're taking a plea, you're pleading to something less, right?
No,
So
not
no. So if you're taking a plea deal, you are pleading guilty to the charges that are brought against you, but a lot of times they're reduced. But that's part of the deal. Is what they do is they'll reduce. So let's say you get charged with murder, they may reduce it down to manslaughter if you agree to plead guilty instead of taking the case to the trial. So.
Right, every plea deal is different.
Yeah.
But what I want
It
to
depends on the
address,
case, too.
What?
I said it depends on the case too.
So what Josh is saying is he will not plead guilty. He'll go to trial before he'll plead guilty, right?
That's what he's claiming.
Yes. That's what he's claiming. So what I wanted to address though is that I don't know if you guys caught it, but he said unless there's some evidence that pops up that causes them to dismiss it because it exonerates me.
Right.
And I found that interesting that you say that. Number one, because this case has been going on for 2 fucking years, right? Like over 2 years now. Like they're not like no, if they were going to dismiss, like we're way past that point. And when we want to talk about evidence, what I wanted to pull up is this report here. Okay, so this is the facts of the case in this robbery trial that they are discussing, where he's adamantly saying he's not going to get a deal or not going to take a deal, which is fine, whatever. So this is the statement of the case, and I know that we can see it on screen, but I'm going to read it because I'm sure it's not super legible. Now comes the Commonwealth in the above captioned matter and submits the statement of the case. This line is important. This statement is provided to assist the court and is not intended to be a bill of particulars, nor does it contain all information known to the Commonwealth at this time. So this is like a summary of the information they have. But they're pretty much saying, like, we have more. And this is the summary of what they have. On October 27th, 2018, Redacted was working at King Liquors in Lowell. At about 12:15 p.m., a white man with glasses and a bandana over the lower part of his face walked up to the counter. He was wearing a black Adidas hat, a black windbreaker jacket, and black denim pants with a white stripe down the side. He demanded that Redacted give him money and said he had a vehicle waiting around the corner for him. He took $500 in cash as well as Redacted's cell phone and the store phone before he fled on foot. Police responded shortly afterward and found the phones outside on the ground next to the store. The incident was captured on the store's surveillance cameras. So they have video evidence, video footage of him committing this fucking crime, number one. On October 29th, 2018, Redacted was working at the African Central Market in Lowell, which Redacted owns and operates. At around 4:30 p.m., a white male wearing a beanie and a gray jacket came in and asked whether they sell cigarettes. Redacted explained they do not and began giving him directions to a store which sells them. The man said, "I'm not going to hurt you," and reached towards his waistband as if he had a weapon concealed there. He asked her for money, and fearing the defendant was armed, she gave him $400 from the register. At that point, her 15-year-old son came in from the back room. The man told him not to move and told Redacted's son to empty his pockets. The man then took Redacted's cell phone and one of the store phones and fled the store. When police responded, a canine officer conducted a track and found a discarded gray jacket and black beanie. All right, so he allegedly robbed a woman and her 15-year-old son, which is just not fucking cool, putting it mildly. They already have corroboration of what he was wearing and the descriptions from the witnesses because the canine went out and tracked and found the items that he was reported to be wearing, okay? The day before, they already have video evidence of him committing this crime. All right, now we go on to the next day. On October 30th, police spoke with 2 employees at Leonard Electric near the African Central Market. They reported that a Josh came in around 4 p.m. on October 29th, which would be the same day that, this happened at the previous store. So on October 29th, acting strangely and asking to use the phone. They described him as white with a slim build with glasses, wearing a gray sweatshirt and a dark winter hat. Based on the calls Josh made while there, police were able to identify the defendant as a suspect in the robbery. So now there's 2 different sets of witnesses that identify him as wearing the same items of clothing that the canines found. He's using their phone at this electric store, this Leonard Electric, and he refers to himself as Josh, right? So, I mean, this is just really not helpful. So police compiled a photo array, including the defendant's photograph, and showed the array to Redacted and her son. Each of them identified the defendant as the person who robbed them on October 29th. So we'll just recap to this point. He's on video. The items of clothing have been corroborated and recovered by the canine units. 2 different sets of witnesses have observed him. He used his name while using the phone, and now he's been picked out of a photo lineup. On October 31st, 2018, Redacted was working behind the counter at London Tailor in Lowell. At around 10:30 a.m., a white man came in and asked to buy a suit. When Redacted explained they do tailoring here, but they do not sell suits, the man pulled out a butcher knife and swung it at him. Redacted grabbed a pair of scissors and chased the man out of the store. Shortly after the attempted robbery at London Tailor, the defendant was located and arrested. His girlfriend, who was with the defendant when she was arrested, spoke to the police and told them that she remembered October 27th, 2018. She had said the defendant came home that afternoon and told her he had robbed King Liquors and gotten $500. When showed a still image of the video from King Liquors, the defendant's girlfriend identified him and his clothing. Police also conducted an interview of the defendant after his arrest. He admitted that he entered London Tailor that morning and demanded that the shop employee give him money. He also admitted that he had been armed with a knife, but claimed that he only pulled the knife out when the employee first pulled the scissors. At first, he denied involvement in the robbery at King Liquors. When confronted with his girlfriend's statement, he asked how they could charge him when she was the getaway driver. So now they have a fucking confession from him too, and the girlfriend identified him. So where he thinks there's going to be any evidence that somehow exonerates him is well beyond me.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I mean, out of all the cases that I've talked to a little bit with our detectives on occasion, and all those facts and circumstances, that's pretty much a good slam dunk case right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no fucking way that he's getting out of this. He's just absolutely not. So hypothetically speaking, I understand that he's saying that he's not going to take a plea deal and that this is the hill that he's going to die on. I think that is unintelligent, in my opinion. But, I'm not going to speak to any of the particulars around that plea deal right now, other than, obviously what he said in public, which is that he will not ever take a plea deal. But his assertion that there's somehow exonerating evidence, slam dunk at the point to where they're at like the final pretrial conference, like, no, that's not happening.
Say if he doesn't take a plea deal, he would be dumb if they've got this evidence and even possibly more evidence as well too.
Can you spot Kate?
Don't forget he confessed too.
Right. I mean, that is such an array of damning evidence. You're on video. You've been identified. You identified yourself while using the phone. Your girlfriend ratted you out. Your girlfriend was the getaway driver. You admitted that, to one robbery, initially denied another, and then when confronted with the statement, essentially conceded and said, well, hold on, how am I being charged when she was the getaway driver?
Was she the getaway
you guys
driver?
hear me?
Just
If you
say.
can, we got fucking 6'9". Sorry.
We got
Yeah,
Wow.
but I mean, yeah, that is just his assertion that he's somehow going to be exonerated is just insane, absolutely insane.
Hey, Kate, can I address something I'm seeing in the comments? For people that don't know, this occurred when Josh was a little bit. Because I keep seeing people saying, "Oh, well, somebody said he was a slim build." Well, that was back when Josh actually did have a slim build, right?
Yeah. So I've seen pictures of him at that point in time. I don't have any readily available right now. I can certainly find them, but when he was actively using drugs, which is not a secret anymore, we've been over this a billion times, nor do I think that he hides or denies it. He was extremely thin, and obviously, not that I'm excusing this behavior, but it was done in the throes of heroin addiction when people do or can do, some people do some pretty dumb and drastic shit. Okay. Not that I'm excusing that. I'm simply saying that, that's sort of the context here. And I don't see this as indicative of a person who is willing to turn over a new leaf, become accountable, change their life, because to the bitter end, despite all of this overwhelming evidence against him, he is proclaiming his innocence. This is a good scenario when I think you eat some fucking crow and say, look, I was hooked on dope. I was with a girl who was also hooked on dope. It was a toxic situation. We were sick. I went out to, make a living to support my habit. And the only way that I could, I fucked up. I owe the victims the vindication of some justice. I owe some restitution. I need to serve my debt to society.
He
And I'm going to
owes his
change.
children back pay. Don't forget about that.
Well, I'm not going to bring up anything like that. No.
Kate, the other side of it is, has he reformed since then?
I would say that this is a very clear indication of no, considering he is professing his evidence to the bitter end. Evidence, his innocence to the bitter end here.
And all of the arrests and subsequent charges that he's had since this incident.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. The straight pride parade where he was annoying and accosting a member of the opposite sex, the resisting arrest, which was a small charge compared to the domestic violence charge that he got later on. There was an intimidating a witness charge that was tacked on in relation to this case here. There was the conspiracy to commit drug laws because he had, allegedly the girlfriend conspiring to smuggle in Suboxone to him in jail. That's a no-no. Like, there's just a lot of, revolving crimes occurring here.
Hey, did they get caught? Mass.
The other question I have is, has he had any prior cases to this incident?
Yeah, of course.
Good question.
Yeah.
What
Who asked that question?
What we're looking at here, and what the judge is going to ask a question of is this a pattern of behavior with this individual?
It sure seems like it. I mean,
I bet the temperature rate.
It's only the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
We have echo.
It's only the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
Exactly.
Well, I think the temperature
Hey guys.
raised in Massachusetts because I'm sure he's over there fucking fuming and all that body heat. I'm sure that the temperature in Mass just rised.
he should just take the plea. Everything on that paper was black and white. His girlfriend ratted on him. He had a confession, articles of clothing,
Video evidence.
what else? Video evidence. Thank you. It's all there.
What
The
possible
jury-
exonerating evidence could there be?
Hey
A
guys,
jury
I
will
not
find them guilty.
interject anymore. Let me know when it's my time to speak, please. Thank you. It's Murfra. I won't bother until you tell me.
Go for it, Marfa.
Hey, Murpha.
Hey everybody. I just wanted to say, freaking, did you guys catch Sancho's show last night when he had Joe
No.
Cole on it?
No, we're
Oh my
talking about.
God, you guys
no.
gotta watch it. They got into some deep shit with Josh last night.
I heard about that.
Freaking amazing. I was watching it.
No, I
was watching it
there's-
tonight.
Yeah, I heard about it. There's some
Go
issues.
ahead.
So Joe Cool can't confirm a police report for an incident that he was not there for. He was not there at the Motel 6. I know because I was the one who initially pulled that police report and released it. I know who was there and who was not. Joe Cool was not there, so he can't corroborate it. I believe that Joe Cool did see her after the assault, but she also put out a video of
He's
her
claiming
face.
he's got pictures and he spoke to her and all this shit. The thing that
Yeah,
amazed
everybody
me
has those
was
pictures.
what amazed me is that how he's like backing Josh so much, you know. And I was watching this until I got the notification that you guys went live, so I had to cut it off, you know. I seen about 3/4 of the video, and Joe Cool is like defending freaking Josh, you know, and even that girl, what's her name? Heidi something. Heidi McKay, I think, that is one of Josh's like main followers. Even this chick, like, you know, started understanding and hearing the facts of what Josh did, and she didn't even have no idea that Josh did this to this girl, beat her and whatnot, you know, and she was told, hey, listen, just Google his name or go to the Masshole report and see all the paperwork, you know. And last night,
Yeah,
the
there.
girl got her eyes open to that, you know. But like I said, I didn't see the whole thing. I got about 3/4 through, and then I got the notifications about you guys. And
Yeah, at
I'm
one point.
here to support, you know, as always.
Thank you, Marfa.
You're welcome, baby. And you know, one thing I'd like to say is Josh Abrams, you know what? Freaking, he's a low life piece of shit. And his time is coming soon, real fucking soon. And you know, what goes around in life comes around in life, because everything I did, I paid for, and my grandmother always told me that if you do something bad in life, it's going to come back at you. And she was right, you know. And I believe that. I believe that with all my heart. I really do. And
Yeah,
without
I
you
mean,
really
guys,
called
man, I'd be
karma.
lost.
just in
Hey,
general,
Matt,
and
how you doing, buddy?
Good, Murphy.
Good. Hey, buddy.
with that situation, you know, obviously, that case was dropped. It was
Yeah.
not. I know at one point he had made the claim. Josh had made the claim that it was dropped after going to trial. That's not the case. It was dropped
Yeah.
for failure to prosecute because the victim didn't show up, and
But
that's
what
just
does he
one.
say, Kate? What does he say? If I didn't get arrested or convicted, it never happened, right?
He does say if I don't have a conviction, but the
Bullshit.
problem with listen, okay, so I mean, I have. Not to brag here, I try not to a lot, but
Yeah.
nobody would even know about Josh's criminal record if I hadn't put it out there, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
I have poured over every single police report, court
Yep.
document, piece of evidence in this man's criminal history. He
You
has had
pulled out major paperwork. That's when I
right.
started falling in love with you guys, man. I was like, oh my God, look at this. I was so freaking hyped.
But
Same here.
he has had
Yep.
numerous arrests for domestic
Yep.
violence, battering on family
Uh-huh.
members. They
Yep.
have not resulted in convictions because the same thing happens every
Uh-huh.
time. The victim doesn't show
Yep.
up and doesn't testify.
Exactly. And
Okay?
the same thing with the parents. The same thing with the parents. You know,
Right.
they didn't get
Right.
through it. So it did happen in Josh Abrams' eyes, you know.
You know, and
But
in
we
this case, he does not have the same luxury, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term, than he did in these domestic violence cases. This
Yep.
is a violent crime that is rife with evidence. The victims
Yep.
are making statements, and I do not understand his logic or his reasoning in, well, this is just going to be dismissed, I'm taking it to trial.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
that narcissistic, pathological liar that he is, you know.
yeah.
He'll deny it till his death. And it's a shame,
More like,
man. Really is a shame.
well,
And the thing that I freaking really love is Joe Cool has pictures. I'm sure you guys have pictures, and quite a few other people have pictures of what he did to his last ex and the ex before, you know, and quite a few of his 60,000 followers are catching on now. That's why I was like really enjoying the Sancho show that I was listening to tonight, you know. And then when I got your notification, I had to cut it off because you know me, I'm your number one fan, you know. So I cut to you guys real quick. But freaking you guys got to listen to it because they got deep into it. And Joe is like, oh no, why should I freaking turn on Josh and this and that? And they were telling him why, because this guy abuses women. what are we supposed to do? Freaking listen to you and let it go, and let another woman get abused and maybe sexually abused, and then he'd stay shut. This is why I'm suggesting watch this show, man. Freaking, it was awesome. I didn't get through the whole thing, like I said, but what I got through was freaking amazing. And just like you guys came up with the paperwork. But what went on last night, I was watching today, and it was fucking amazing. Fucking Joe Cool is backing this fucking guy. What the fuck? I like Joe Cool, don't get me wrong. But after seeing this shit tonight, Joe Cool got some screws loose if he's going to believe that by backing Josh Abrams, that he's fucking making his life or his subscribers, believing in him more, because it's not. If anything, I think it took away. Fucking, I don't know what else to say except fucking,
Kate.
if it wasn't for you guys, man, I don't know what else. Josh would be getting away with a lot of shit, man. And next on the list is Josh. Hopefully, he's going to be doing his time.
Kate, that's a drug smuggling conspiracy charge. That was something that went away, didn't it?
Yeah, that went away.
No, I think it's actually still open. So originally we had erroneously said, oh my gosh, it was dropped. But what happened was, and this happens from time to time, it looks like they entered charges twice. So they obviously dropped one to consolidate it down. But last I checked, that was still open. Now, granted, it's been probably a couple months since I last checked. So that may have changed.
Yep. Since the corona. You're right.
Hey, Kate.
Yeah.
They keep putting it off.
Can you share my screen?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
Is
So I
that
just want
Pat
to I want to explain to everybody what this is. So Josh Abrams' hearing that he has coming up on the 17th is listed on the docket as a change of plea hearing. And this is what it means. A change of plea hearing happens at the end of a case when the defendant and the prosecution have reached an agreement, or when a defendant simply desires to plead guilty or no contest to the court. Sometimes the court will schedule a particular date for pretrial conference. So what this is saying is he has already went through the first process, which was they offered him the deal at his last hearing, right? And then now they set a hearing for sentencing where they will normally they do it at the same time, but Josh might have asked.
No. So I've actually seen no. So this is essentially this deal's on the table, but Josh has not accepted it yet. I can
right. No,
he has
I'm
not
not
accepted
saying
it yet. So it may be on for
Go ahead.
No, but
Go ahead,
I
Kate.
mean, they may have put it on for hearing. So they've scheduled this. The prosecution has this plea. This is, but just because it's been scheduled for that does not mean that they've actually come to an agreement. Because I've actually seen the docket notes that they have not actually reached that agreement. So this is what's on the table, and Josh and his attorney either have to accept it, or at that point, then they're going to move to trial to get this to a resolution.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I pulled up off of the mass thing. That just explained what that type of hearing was. So Josh can come in and say, no, I just want to take it to trial. I'm not taking no deals on the 17th.
Correct.
Well, he was highly defensive in that video. I mean,
Well, because he realizes that if he goes to trial, that they're going to give him more time than what they would have given him for the deal. And so my opinion is he's going to take the deal, but he's
Why
done
not
it.
take the deal?
Well, let me ask you guys this. Do you think he's going to plead nolo contendere? For people that don't know what nolo contendere is, it means no contest. So basically, you're agreeing that the state has a bunch of evidence against you. However, you're not admitting to the crime. You're just saying the state has enough evidence against you to convict you of the crime.
Yeah, and that's part of the guilty plea. So when he signs that, he'll sign either one way or another, but it all still falls under whatever the sentence they want to give him, how much time served he has already in. Does it count towards this case? You know, so there's things that they work out there, you know, when it comes to that. But once the judge then sees it, right, the judge is going to read it, and then the judge has to say, he's going to ask the DA, tell me about his criminal past. And she's going to have to go through and talk about all his past convictions and anything else that might be relevant to the case. And then the judge can say, oh, well, you know, you could have given him this much, or you could, why are you giving him this? You know, or the judge could just say, I'm good with it, signed off, done. You know, I had a judge reject one of mine one time. So.
Can I
Yeah,
speak?
judges have a lot of discretion.
Just take
Go ahead,
the
Matt.
plea
Yeah, but
deal.
that's what I would do.
Dumbass.
What was that, Kate?
I said I was agreeing with Greg. That's what I would do, is just take the plea deal. Like,
Yeah, I would
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, you're stupid if you're not taking the
100%
plea deal.
take the plea deal.
Well,
And that's
the only
and-
reason not to take it would be to go to trial and think that it's going to.
Well, no,
if I'm not guilty.
Here's the thing. Like, so everybody would take the deal with the preponderance of evidence against you, right?
Right.
Because you're not. Otherwise, you
Well,
look at double the time if you don't take the deal. But here's the other thing: Josh could be going in there to try and play the game to get more time on the street, where he knows he's going to take a deal, but now he's going to say, I want to go to trial, right? And he's going to put it on a trial track. And then he's going to try and get his lawyer to go back and get them to offer the deal. Now he has more time on the street because people have done it millions of times. And so if he's trying to pull that, they might just revoke his bail on that one.
Oh, yeah, there'd be no deal at that point.
Like, if you want to play this game now.
Yep.
So.
I agree.
But, you know, nobody will know. We'll
I'm
find out on the
surprised.
17th, right?
Yeah.
But I have
Nice.
all his other. I pulled up his all his past convictions. I have listed the West Roxbury case, the larceny in Malden, the possession of documents, the disorderly conduct, minor possession, violating an abuse
I'm surprised
protection
he
order,
has a bail for all the shit he
violating
pulled.
abuse protection order, larceny from a building, breaking and entering, dangerous weapon, assault and battery, breaking and entering again with a dangerous weapon, and assault with a dangerous weapon. So that's 7 felonies right there.
Ooh,
Wow.
ouch.
Good.
I'd love to see
Nope.
how many cycles he's been through personally.
And so that's why, and that's, go ahead.
What do you mean by
Oh, sorry.
cycles?
No.
Cycles
No, I
means you get arrested, you get put in jail. How many times he's been in and out of jail?
Well, so it's called your prior record score, and that's what they use on their sentence guideline. And so you accumulate points based upon convictions. And felony convictions are 1 point, misdemeanors, depending, add up to a point. And then there's like a bar graph. And so let's say you're 4, your score is 4, and it scales up. And then whatever your charge is, they have a minimum and a maximum they can give you, or anywhere in between. And they can aggravate it or mitigate it. Obviously, this would be aggravated because it's a aggregate crime. So that would be the guidelines that they use to sentence.
So you actually miss I can read off his full past charges because you missed some there. It's extensive. This is 2 pages. Okay, so BMC West Roxbury, possession Class A substance. Malden District larceny of a motor vehicle, so carjacking. Possession of false or stolen RMV documents. Woburn District Court, disorderly conduct. Woburn, minor possession of alcohol. Woburn, violation of an abuse prevention order, another violation of abuse prevention order, another larceny from a building, A and B with a dangerous weapon, assault and battery, another A and B with a dangerous weapon, assault with a dangerous weapon, witness intimidation, assault and battery, armed assault to rob, witness intimidation, trespassing, threatening to commit a crime, assault with a dangerous weapon. Lowell, this is the charge we were discussing earlier, armed assault to rob. He was indicted. Armed robbery. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was a different. So he has an armed assault to rob that he was indicted on. Then he was indicted on this pending charge of armed robbery.
Yeah.
Salem, operating after license suspension. Malden, assault and battery on a household member. Woburn, evading taxi fare. Violation of an abuse prevention order, 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 violation of an abuse prevention order. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row, all different docket numbers. Peabody, suspended license. Not done yet. I'm not even done yet.
Go ahead.
Operating on a suspended license, possession of a Class A substance, conspiracy to violate drug laws. I'm sorry, we're going to keep going. Harassment, criminal harassment. 2 counts unarmed robbery, armed assault to rob, 2 counts of witness intimidation. That's a tremendous amount of criminal charges for a 32-year-old man.
Yep.
Kate, you got to send that to me. I don't have that copy. I had the old copy.
That's missing some charges. So
yeah, that's what I mean.
Wow.
Can you send me the new one?
The copy that I have is missing some charges.
Oh, okay.
That's not even the new one. No, I just have access to the full library. I mean, there's just a lot of charges there, and we're missing a couple there too, because there's obviously the the A and B on the household member that he got with hot tow truck girl that was obviously later dismissed. Prejudice that could come back. There was another harassment. So he has charges that aren't even on there. Now there's obviously he has 2 more charges in Indiana. So he has
3.
An extensive. Oh, I'm sorry, 3. You're right. He has an extensive criminal history. Extensive.
Yep.
And so
unbelievable.
The reason I had brought what I brought up was because he had him and Brian were in an argument on that show, and Brian was trying to call him out for the fact that he's taken a plea deal, and Josh is saying, I don't talk to you about that court case, Brian. Remember, I don't tell other people. And Brian was like, yeah, but you told me, so why don't you tell them? And you're taking a deal. And he was like, I never told you that. I told you I'm taking it to trial. And like they went back
last
and forth.
night show?
Yeah, and they went back and forth, and he's like, oh, I'm definitely taking the robbery to trial. And Brian kept saying to him, but you're listed as taking a deal. And he said, I'm going in there and telling them I'm taking it to trial. So if he does that, I'm telling you, they're going to revoke his bail because they're not going to play his fucking game.
Yep.
Because he's known this already. Go ahead.
And there's that list.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah, so see that. Yeah, there is a physical copy. They're all, we're not recycling docket numbers here. They all are different docket numbers. It is just an extensive list. And again, that is, missing some more recent charges. So, I mean, this guy is just, and you know what? I would like to say that, you can overcome a past like this, and maybe you could, but you have to stop committing crimes first. And that's just something that he's not doing.
Exactly.
That's quite a rap sheet. God damn.
And the other thing that people, and I talked to Kate about this, the other people that, like, once he is finally sentenced, right, and he goes and does his jail time, he's going to have a back end that's going to be supervised state supervision, right? And let me tell you, from being on state parole for 7 years, he will not even break a stick in the wrong way, or he'll go back to jail. So he won't be doing the shit nowhere near it. Not out filming, not out activism. He'll probably be using his shit to do panels and shit, which they'll tell him he can't do anyway.
No, actually. That's where it gets a little dicey. Anyone notice how Josh continues to be allowed to travel?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We can, everybody goes, why is he allowed to travel? Well, I just recently discovered that if you tell the court, sorry, do we have background? If you tell the court that this YouTube auditing thing is your only source of income, your only way of supporting yourself, they'll allow it.
Right,
That's
but
going to be different. That's going to be different.
No. That's only for the supervision he's under now. Once he's under
that's for
state
bail.
parole supervision, it's different. You can't even sleep at a friend's house. You have to get permission to leave the county. You got to get permission to leave the state, and they're not going to consider his YouTube career a job. They don't consider it a job.
Of course not.
They don't play that shit.
Of course not.
So he's going to be cut off from this for a while. I promise you.
Let me ask you a question.
When he's on parole, he's right.
State time or federal time?
He'll have a curfew for like the first 6 months.
No, I didn't ask curfew. State time or federal?
This is state time.
Well, if we don't know what he's getting. We don't know. I'm just speculating. Like if it was county time, it would be a county supervision, which is kind of the same, a little less lax, but it's still supervision.
Well, but none of these charges are federal charges.
No,
though,
there's
right?
no federal. No.
Okay, then this is all going to be under the state of Massachusetts. Then
Yeah.
he can't spend time in a federal penitentiary unless he's got a federal charge.
But you have to take a look at he has time served already. He was in for a while. Remember when they revoked his bail? I don't know how many months it was. So depending on what
that was back a while ago.
But that still counts to something.
Okay, so we'll get what, 2.5 months off?
I don't know. I'm just saying however much it was, it'll count towards his case. So let's say they give him a small state sentence, like a 1 to 2, and he has 6 months in, and that
say
takes
2 to 3. But anyway, go ahead.
That takes it off of his case now.
Yeah.
Now it might be a county case. Yeah. We don't know. We won't know until the 17th.
Well, or maybe I will say this, and of course, I'm trying to be as delicate about this. It may not resolve on the 17th. We'll put it that way, because there may be some allowances made because he does have other things going on in other states now. So I mean, this is not a set in stone going to have a trajectory after the 17th. I would almost guarantee
he's not going to get sentenced that day, but they're going to
no, but I'm saying I don't even think there's a good chance it may not even be heard on that day.
Yeah, that's true too. You're right.
Right,
but,
and
he's,
so
Kate, he's looking at time. He is definitely
for sure
time, and he's got a plea deal on the table, and if he don't take it, he's taking a chance on maybe doing double that time.
Yeah.
So Kate, real quick.
Exactly.
So the dude that I talked to, because I asked him, I said, hey, listen, I know you can't give me anything out of the file, but my question is, because he has these open cases in these other states, is that going to hold him back from being sentenced? And from what I'm being told, that because it's in another state, all of his interactions with court will all be done through video. And so there's no reason for the court to feel the need to extend the current situation any longer. It's not going to change anything because he's still seeing them on video now. But they said
that's not accurate.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not accurate.
That was just what I heard. So I don't know.
So why did you say it?
Huh?
Why did you say that? Because you heard it, or you thought it was a fact?
But no, I heard it from somebody who is
Oh,
in that area who
yeah.
gives credible information.
All right. Okay. No problem.
Yeah, no,
Could I
that's
get a
not
second?
accurate. No.
Could I get a second to speak, please? I just wanted to address. I'm not going to mention no names or whatever. Um, I'm sure you guys knew what happened to me. That I was called out by fucking bitch tits, for blowing him up for calling the DA and his PO and whatnot. Okay, never dropped a name of who did it. Okay, I know who did it, and there was not one person, quite a few persons. Okay, and that's fine. I dealt with that. And there was one day where somebody was getting bashed in Discord, and they asked me if I had Josh's PO's number, and I said, you know what? Somebody offered it to me and gave it to me, but I'm pretty sure they deleted it from the private chat that we spoke on. But I looked for it the whole day. I asked quite a few people, and they said no, they didn't have it, or asked this one and asked that one. And I only did that to help them out because they wanted to naturally, you know, get back at Josh. Okay, so I tried to help them. Long story short, there was one or two people that I tried getting in touch with that day, and they did not respond to me. And you're on here now. I'm not mentioning names, and that had nothing to do with that. I just wanted to ask, like, maybe if you could help me out with the number and all that, so I could give it to the person who wanted it. Because I had no problem. I told you all, yes, I damn straight called Josh's attorney to handle it the right way. Because back in the old day, I would have went straight up to Boston to his house. Okay, so I handled it the right way. That was one thing. The second thing was, I was trying to help these people out. So the person that gave me the PO's number took it back, and I couldn't get it. And the dude that really wanted it so bad, I felt really effed up that I couldn't give it to him because he was so emotionally effed up because he felt he needed to, speak to his PO for whatever reasons, and that's fine with me. If I could help, I'll help. Okay, and it didn't work out that way. And the person that's listening now, you know who you are. I didn't get in touch with you to put you down, yell at you, get mad at you. I just wanted to ask you a simple question for a number. Either yes, you had it, or you didn't. That was all. I respect everybody. I get along with everybody. Please, I hope you didn't take that the wrong way that day, because that person or persons that didn't want to get back to me kept giving me excuses. They couldn't talk to me. They were busy, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I apologize if I made you feel the wrong way. I'm not about that. You people, are my people. But when it started getting really rough and, like, Josh started with his bullshit and all that, I'm not about freaking all that drama. So I had to drop out of Kate's Discords and Sancho's Discord because everybody was talking, and I'm just not into that. But long story short, I'm loyal. Okay, I'm Murfra. I'm back. Got the same name. Changed my picture to my other car, and that's it. And I'm back, and that's it. And anybody wants to talk to me, private chat me in the Discord that I'm going to open up tomorrow again. Okay, guys? I love yous all, and no disrespect to any of yous. Okay?
Okay. All right, Murphy. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So that's probably
All right. Let's move.
It's probably a good time to end right there. 2 hours.
You got 2 minutes?
I got 2 minutes. Yeah, go for it.
Hey, I just wanted to let everybody know that, again, thank you very much, Kate, for publishing that update on Antelope Valley Watchman and Doug Hutton. Really did appreciate that.
Oh,
thank you for
that's
doing that.
acceptable?
Yeah, can we just
Yes.
we're gonna wrap it up.
Great job.
We're gonna let him talk and we're gonna wrap it up, okay?
I guess, and I saw it there, that Steve Lakios made a little comment about that we should talk to him first, and that, these charges were dropped and this and that and the other. He put it in the comments of the video. I responded to him. But one of the other things that I did is I looked up their now former attorney, Shahab Tarani, and I spoke with him this morning. It was very interesting. And he did defer any comment for the continued defense strategy to the now public defender, since he is now a former attorney. I don't know if he withdrew on his own, or if what they paid for was done, or I think you have to formally withdraw from the case, or if they fired him. Not certain. But he did say that there was a deal brokered at one point in time, and basically he said that he could have had their case completely dismissed and struck from the record but they couldn't meet. Doug has his ideology, Stephen has his, and that they just couldn't meet eye to eye on the situation. So unfortunately, they're back with the public defender again. And he also kind of did mention a little bit that basically he kind of gave him a discount, as far as the fees were concerned. They didn't pay as much as a normal client would have paid him, and he did everything he possibly could. The money, it didn't matter to him. He was paid. He did his job, and it was very well spoken individual also. And also with Doug, running around, throwing up his bar number, trying to get people to call and put bad reviews onto his website, or wherever they can, Yelp, I don't know. Guess what, Doug? Nothing that this guy hasn't gone through before, and it's not affecting him. So good luck with that. But anyway, I just thought I would call and find out. Just that, assumably, all of the charges are still on the table if they go to trial. Yeah. So that's just where we're at with it. So when Steven says, oh, they got rid of the trespassing charges and whatever charges, but they may have had brokered a deal as far as maybe boiling it down to one interfering charge, and if they would go through a certain probationary period, complete that probationary period, everything would be stricken from the books and they would be on their merry way, but they didn't want to do it. So good luck to them. Okay. And we'll be keeping an eye on this trial.
All right, later, everybody. Thank you, Kate.
Real quick, I just want to sneak a quick titty joke real quick before y'all end it.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, all I gotta say, man, is I hope Bubba has fun with this estrogen-filled fuck with his fucking big fat tits in a freaking jail cell when he gets locked up. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, that wasn't really much of a joke, but whatever. He's gonna be holding on to that guy's pocket pretty fucking soon. I'll just tell you that much. Fuck Abrams. He's a bitch.
Thank you for that.
All right.
All right.
Love you guys. Sorry, I just wanted to do that. Okay.
People down. All right. Good night. Good night, guys. Thanks for joining us.
All right.